Good evening, everyone. This is the newest, or let's say, the pinakaunang episode of Youth Speaks PH, wherein we discuss various social problems, and today ang ating pick is political dynasties. Today we are going to dive into a topic that's been around longer than some of our laws. Political dynasties. Why do they exist? Are they good or bad? And how do they shape our democracy? So, before we actually dive into the deeper topics and reflect on kung ano yung mga na-interview natin, what we researched, by definition, political dynasty is when people from the same family hold public office. Sometimes sabay-sabay pa. Sometimes sunod-sunod. So mayor si tatay, congressman si anak, governor si nanay. Get the picture? I'm sure meron pumapasok sa isip nyo. And one of the prevalent example of this is the Santos Recto clan, wherein tatakbo halos buong pamilya nila. So, before we proceed doon sa ating discussion, pwede bang each one of you can give one word to describe political dynasty? Ano yung word na pumapasok sa utak nyo when we talk about political dynasty?
Interest.
Domination.
Influence.
Inherited.
So, yon, maraming pumapasok sa isip nyo. And dito sa ating project, naatasan ng lahat to interview and to research kung ano nga ba yung political dynasty. Pero before we actually proceed, alam nyo ba ang political dynasty is prohibited in our constitution? It is, under our constitution, hindi siya allowed. Pero kung makikita natin, it is very much still prevalent. Maraming members ng Congress or even doon sa House of Representatives na parte ng political dynasties. Wherein kung sila mismo dapat yung gumagawa ng batas, pero sila mismo parte ng political dynasty. So, let's dive now into real talk, deeper questions and reactions. I'm sure some of you are my questions, so let's first start with Ali.
So for the first question, since many cases of political dynasties come from celebrities, why do you think celebrity or star families choose to dominate politics as well?
I think celebrity often choose to enter and dominate politics because they already have the power, they have the strong public presence, at mas kayang-kaya nila mag-influence ng madaming tao. And their fame gives them an advantage in gaining public support, making it easier to win elections. And additional to that, politics offers them power, prestige, and opportunity to shape public policy. So, further, strengthening their legal legacy and control.
Yeah, I want to also add the answer of Ms. Legaspi. The reason why most celebrity enter politics, I think because they use it as their retirement plan, because they already have this public influence and recognition, and those fame that they have, they use it to gain more in a different aspects naman.
I'd like to add na dun sa answers ni na Ms. Dalmundo and Ms. Legaspi na I think kaya nila ginagawa yun is para for income din. Kasi syempre more often than not may sweldo din kapag nag-hold ka ng public office. So I think they use it as income in between their acting jobs, especially celebrities who aren't as famous as our A-list celebrities. They use it as extra income para pagka wala silang acting job, pwede silang kumita pa rin. And it will be easier for them to get into public office kasi nga kilala sila ng mga tao.
And addition lang sa sinabi ni Fred, many celebrities and star families enter politics because they have, sinabi na kanina nila Shane, and they have strong name and public influence. But sadly, this creates a shortcut to power without necessarily having the proper qualifications or experiences in public service. It becomes more about popularity than capability.
So for me lang naman, no, I think maintaining is to maintain status at saka yung power, no. Alam naman natin na ang celebrities family have a big impacts or massive impact sa public recognition. So it helps them, their fame helps them to secure the votes. So dito, alam na natin kung ano ang background story ng isang artista na tumatakbo sa politiko. So yeah, parang to maintain status at saka yung power.
Okay, so to conclude, totoo naman nga na itong mga artistang to, ginagawa nilang retirement plan yung politika. Kasi whether we admit it or not, merong mga artista that are not as famous as before. And syempre, those artists gusto nila ng backup plan and ang politika yung tinakbuhan nila. Now, this brings us to our next question. Some common argument that people use to defend political dynasties is that we live in a very democratic or we live in a democratic country. Pinili naman nila yan eh. Choice yan ng tao. So, Ms. Legaspi, you have a question for here, di ba?
Yes. So my question is, what do you think about the claim that political dynasty are okay since they are elected by the people and not being appointed?
For me, I believe that it's true, considering that it is the people, us specifically, who gets to choose the candidates that will lead na maglilid sa atin. So if the majority of Filipinos want to vote for these families over and over again, wala tayong magagawa. We can't do anything about it.
Also, I think although it's true that, politicians are elected and not appointed by the people, we cannot also deny the fact that they have power. And those power that they have, they sometimes use it to gain what they want, which is to win to the election.
For me, although tama nga na we are a democratic country na yung mga tao ang pumipili ng kung sino nasa public office. Pero I don't believe that it should be the norm. It's okay kasi nga tama naman yung proseso, gumagana naman yung proseso. But it shouldn't be the norm for us kasi ang dapat tinitignan ng mga tao is yung projects na pinaplano talaga ng mga politicians natin. Hindi yung hindi yung kilala lang nila yung tao kaya nila binoboto. Dapat tinitignan nila much deeper kung ano yung pinaplano talaga ng bawat kandidato.
Totoo nga na pinipili ng tao o binoboto ng tao ang mga kandidatong yan, specifically the political dynasty. Pero tanungin din natin if may tunay bang choice ang mga tao kung limited lang ang option nila pagdating sa mga tumatakbong kandidato. So kung ang natakbo lang naman sa isang lugar palagi ay iisang pamilya lang din, sino nga naman ang iboboto ng tao na mas maayos doon sa pamilyang yon? So parang political dynasty talaga is they use resources, influence, and even more funds for their campaigns, and we all know that we only have limited option pagdating sa mga other candidates na hindi nasa political dynasty.
So as Miss Cardano said naman, no, may choices naman ng mga tao. Like may gusto silang piliin. But for me, if maliit talaga yung lugar at yung mga taong yun na lang din ang tumatakbo, I think yun parang may nandun na rin yung political dynasty, like tatakbo ulit siya, tas yung asawa niya naman. So best thing to do is that they encourage more candidates, no, since yun nga.
So parang in conclusion, political dynasties aren't always a choice. It is people vote for them. According sa inyo, people vote for them because they're the only option available. And sila yung names na familiar sa tao. So, this brings us to our next question. Imagining a dynasty-free future. Miss Del Mundo, you have a question for that, diba?
Yes, I do have. Like, in your opinion, what do you think does the future of political leadership look like without these dynasties kaya?
If mawawala na talaga ang political dynasty here in the Philippines, so the future of political leadership will become more inclusive and diverse. And makakaroon tayo ng more innovative governance as new voices and perspective are given the chance to lead.
To add up to that, inclusive siya to the point na yung leaders na makukuha natin in the future, they come from different fields and they also have unique ways of governing people because may mga distinct platforms na sila, unlike political dynasties na pare-pareho lang.
Adding to the past two answers, parang for me, mas magkakaroon pa ng mas madaming discussions tungkol sa mga problems natin kasi syempre hindi naiisa yung utak na tinatakbuhan ng mga politiko natin. Iba-iba na yung background sa pinanggalingan nila, iba-iba na yung ideologies nila. So magkakaroon pa tayo ng mas maraming ideas to improve our country.
And in my opinion naman, political leadership would look like without the dynasty would be based siguro sa capability, the qualification, and vision, and not in the bloodlines. We can get more transparency and innovation kung talagang mawawala ang political dynasty. And also, removing dynasties would encourage citizens to focus on platforms, not just family names, influence, or fame, just like sa mga nangyayari ngayon.
So totally agree naman ako sa mga sinabi nyo, and removing political dynasty is more exclusive, no. New ideas, new innovation, no. Encouraging leadership para may bago naman, no, para yung labanan naman ang subok na. So yun.
So, yon. To add up to that, in my opinion too, as the host of this podcast, I really do hope for a political dynasty-free future. I mean, it isn't prohibited in our constitution for nothing. Kulang na lang ng batas para ma-prohibit tong political dynasties na to. For sure naman sa ating evolving world and marami rin naman qualified na candidates na tumatakbo, hopefully is mapatupad na siya sa ating batas. So, moving on to the not the last yet, but palapit na sa last. What would you do if you had the power? What was the question again, Fred?
My question was, kasi alam naman natin nga lahat na under the Constitution, political dynasties should not be allowed. Pero if it were up to you, what would you put specifically in place para mapigilan or malesen yung political dynasties sa gobyerno natin? Like, how would you do it personally in your own thoughts? How would you do it?
For me, kaka-mention lang ni Miss De Veas kanina na need natin mag-impose ng law para ma-enable yung batas na nag-prohibit ng political dynasty sa constitution natin. Kasi kahit nakalagay sa 1987 constitution natin na prohibited siya, if wala tayong batas na nag-i-implement or nagpapatupad nun, hindi siya mawawala.
Ako, I would agree and I would support what Miss Gustillo said. Kasi if I could naman, I would create a law that says anti-dynasty law that defines that sana maging limitado yung mga numbers of member ng family yung magkaroon ng position sa government para naman, if hindi kaya automatically to stop, at least to lessen it so that eventually mawala na yung yung dynasty sa government natin.
Yes, I agree kay Miss Del Mundo and Miss Gustilo. But siguro hindi lang dapat puro batas. If makakagawa ko ng ng barriers, I would start approaching in education. Siguro let's start small pagdating sa mga communities natin. Dapat sabayan natin ito ng voter education, lalo na sa mga barangay at public school na na kung saan tayo nakatira. Kasi mas maraming kasing botante, lalo na ngayon na malapit ng eleksyon, mas sanay na pagkalala na nila yung apelyido, yun na iboboto nila. Meron din naman nagiging influence yung family nila na hindi sila nagkakaroon ng choice para makapag-vote ng ayos. So, kung tuturuan natin sila bumoto based sa platform and track record, hindi lang sa pangalan at fame, mababawasan talaga natin ang political dynasty.
So in addition po kay Miss Del Mundo, no, enforcing law, I would like to enforce law if meron naman akong kapangyarihan. So defining and limiting a political dynasty, setting for restriction. No, with the help of sa suggestion po ni Miss Cardano is that education is a must and kailangan natin na encourage yung mga adolescents, no, na to think about kung sino man ang iboboto nila.
So bale, to sum up all the answers, no, totoo naman that imposing law is really the only way, or not the only way but the most effective way to limit this political dynasty. Because aminin ba natin o hindi, parang at this point parang hindi na siya mapipigilan. It gives people the impression that these people are the only choices. So that brings us to the most emotional question. So Ms. Cardano, proceed.
My question is, how hopeful are you that the Philippines can overcome the influence of political dynasties?
For me, I am not 100% hopeful na ang political dynasty ay mag-e-end, considering the amount of people who still choose to vote for them kasi they are their favorites or idols, and that these families have been handling them for a long time kaya nasanay na sila masyado. Ang wish ko lang is for people to wake up and be well educated in terms of who to vote for and why.
Yes, agree ako kay Ms. Gustilo, and to be honest, hindi ko talaga nakikita na ipapasa nila tong anti-political dynasty bill since ang dami pang nakaupo sa Congress na magkakamag-anak. And hindi nila to ipapasa kasi sila ang maaapektuhan. But I'm hoping in the future na maging mas matalino tayo sa pagboto. At once wala na sa Congress ang kasama or nasa political dynasty, siguro pwede na tayo gumawa ng batas at wala nang pipigil sa atin.
Ako ay agree dun kay sinabi ni Ms. Legazpi and Ms. Castillo kasi we cannot deny the fact naman na talagang ang political dynasty or talagang gumagana pa rin siya. Hanggang ngayon nandito pa rin siya. Tagal-tagal na nun. Pero I'm still hoping na sana nga maraming tao yung maging open for changes. Kasi yun yung kailangan natin changes para naman magbago, mag-improve man lang, and makasabay naman tayo sa pagdaloy ng kagaya ng ibang bansa, no?
So yun, hopefully nga na ito'y mabago. So ito naman ay for me lang, no, we need to additional din sa sinabi ko sa last time, no, more on education, in education tayo, and more youth engagement dahil sila nga yung makikinabang sa ating mga binoboto. So for me is that siguro we need to have like a program or like a simulation that would help the younger ones, no? So yun lang.
For me, I don't. It's not that I don't agree with you guys, pero although it does look bleak, I think I am still hopeful na ma-overcome natin yung political dynasties dito sa bansa natin, kasi the more of the younger generation of voters these days, mas pinapahalagahan na talaga nila yung mga projects and yung mga balak ng mga politiko natin, although na-overcome pa rin sila ng larger population of voters, yung mga luma pang voters. I think there would be a paradigm shift somewhere along the next 10 years na, kasi syempre nawawala na yung mga lumang voters, yung mga matatanda na na sila, napapalitan na sila ng mga younger voters na may mas bukas na may mas bukas na utak para sa mga sinasabi ng mga politiko, hindi lang yung nakikilala nila, as in nire-research talaga nila kung ano yung balak nilang lahat.
So yon. And just like everyone else, I'm very much hopeful that Philippines will overcome this influence of political dynasty. And kahit na imposing the law is the very effective way, hindi pa rin mag-end ang political dynasty if hindi natin kikilatisin ng maayos ang ating itong mga tumatakbong kandidato. And to end this, let's just remind everyone that political dynasties are more than just family names. They reflect the kind of system we allow and the kind of future we imagine. So the real question is, are we okay with democracy that looks like a monarchy in disguise? So to end this, thank you everyone for joining us on today's episode. Keep questioning, keep learning, keep fighting for a better Philippines. This is your host and members signing off. Thank you.